Yo, what is going on, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. I'm Ramsey Abushala, editor of urbanpitch.com. Julio Monterosa, Bridget Flores, co-executive directors of Vibes in the building. What's going on, y'all? Good to have you back, Bridge.
Thanks. It's nice to be back with y'all. I miss the environment. I miss the vibes.
Yeah.
Lots going on, but thankfully we're all okay. And yeah, I definitely missed it. New year, first episode for me.
For you,
really
yeah. It's great to have you back, and we do have a very special guest alongside Bridget.
Sir.
Bridget's only here for the special episodes.
Yeah, for real. Only when cool people come. Other than that, I don't want to be around.
I'm like, Katie Johnson, I'm in there.
Yeah. But a repeat guest. We love having guests come back. We had Katie Johnson on 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Like our 11th episode.
Yeah, one of the first
ones.
like kind of when we were starting up. We were kind of new into the game, so we were a little bit nervous. I was stuttering over words. So hopefully we're a little bit more elevated this time.
And again,
Julio
we were getting drunk prior to the episode.
He was sharing all the false information about you.
Oh yeah, no, because I did look at Wikipedia. Says everybody played for USC in their family. I'm like, and I told Ramsey, but I wasn't going to bring it up. But Ramsey brought it up, like your mom played for
No,
USC.
you brought it up, and then you're like, no, yeah.
We can just pretend it was.
Yeah, but Katie Johnson, it's so good to have you back. Thanks for coming back and
Thank you for having
in
me.
person this time.
Yeah, I know.
Woo
I love
woo.
it. This is more fun.
Yeah, yes.
way.
So before we get into everything, I know it's been a crazy time in LA over the last couple of weeks, and you being in LA right now and being born and raised out here. I know Monrovia, Pasadena, La Cañada area. How's everything been going with you and handling that? Is your family doing okay? Like what's going on there?
Yeah. Well, my family is mostly in Monrovia and Sierra Madre, so they did have to evacuate. They lost power, but the house is safe. Everyone's safe, and we had dinner last night. The power is back on, and then we had some friends over from Altadena, and then they said that their power went out last night. So it's just a little hectic, but everyone's safe and keeping good spirits. My mom's really into those lamps that the electrical lamps. So when the power went out, she was just like,
Ready
I
to
have
go.
my little
Prepared.
lamps.
Yeah.
They're nice. So
Yeah.
they always find to be positive in such terrible moments, and they're good though. So everything has been safe and good. Yeah.
Thankful for that.
Yeah.
For everyone coming together and helping out any way they can, and it's been a wild couple weeks, but also it's been nice to see the city kind of come together and everything like that. But a lot's changed since you were last on. Like we said, we're in a new studio. We
In person.
yeah. Bridget is part of the show now. A lot has happened since then. You were with San Diego at the time. Made the move over to Angel City. Now, congratulations on the retirement. How have you been? What's going on with you? How has life been for you? Making the transition post playing career.
Well, it's only been 3 weeks
Right.
since I officially retired, but so I was a little bit in the celebratory phase. I kind of still am, and just excited to be kind of taking the step back. Actually, the day after I retired, I went and played pickup, and I'm like, why can't I just chill for a little bit? But after the pickup, I was like, you know what? I made the right decision, retiring. It just kind of came to me I was a free agent, and I had the choice of either looking for a new team in the NWSL or going to play abroad. And ultimately, I just didn't want to play in the NWSL anymore, and it just felt pretty routine, I would say routine and predictable if I were to keep playing in the NWSL. And then I was interested in playing in Mexico, but ultimately I just felt like I wasn't going to be fully present and wholeheartedly doing what I wanted to do in soccer, and I felt like I accomplished what I wanted to in a way. So I just decided it felt right to step away and be done with it, and I felt really happy with my decision.
Yeah.
So yeah. Good.
I mean, illustrious career, from NCAA national champion, played with Mexico in the national team, played in the NWSL finals, over 100 appearances in the NWSL. So looking back at your career, how do you feel now, on the other side, just everything that you've experienced? What's it like now to just kind of look back on that? Today's episode is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is the #1 betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
It's kind of nice when you hear it from someone else because I'm like, oh yeah, like I forgot I did all those
that.
things. Like, nice. It feels like it's been my whole life, obviously, and you know, when you let go of something that's been routine and just something that's kind of been my compass of where I go, it's just kind of crazy to look back and see all the things and accomplishments and people I've played with that I'm like, wow, I would have never dreamed of that. So it's always nice to kind of reflect back on that, and talking to even like people like you guys who like understand the game and know just like how hard it is to do something for so long and the dedication it takes. So yeah, it's just like nice to reflect back on it. I feel really at peace with my decision, and yeah, I'm proud of myself for everything that I've done and accomplished, and just get to hold on to that. So it's been nice.
Yeah, there's a lot that, like Ramsey said, the journey was long, but there was so much that you got to do. And looking back at it, is there anything that you like hold near and dear to your heart that's like a memory that really stands out? That obviously a lot of what you know like went through and you made happen was something that anyone that is looking to become a professional soccer player, especially as a female, as a woman, that's something that they look up to. But is there anything that sticks out to you that you're like, that was something that I didn't expect was going to happen, and it did throughout my career, or maybe more than one memory?
Yeah. I think there's two moments that really stand out for me. One, I would say, was my rookie season playing with Megan Rampino, because she was like my idol growing up, and she assisted my first goal. So that was like a big wow, I've made it moment. And it kind of just was something that I dreamt of as a kid, of playing professionally and then having that moment. And then my second big standout moment would be having my family come. I kind of knew I was going to retire this year, but I hadn't shared it with people, just like my family. Mm-hmm. And the last home game, I had my parents and my sister and my nephew and her husband on the field, and we just kind of all had a moment to just like soak it in and like really appreciate and think about all of what I've accomplished. And having them there in LA, seeing me play professionally, was like, I did this. And they were like so great. My sister always says like the right things too, and just like said, I honestly can't remember what she said now, but I was just like in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so emotional. I was crying on the field, and it was just really special for me to just kind of look back and be like, wow, I did that. So yeah, those are like my two moments.
Love that. What about that moment with that you shared, the first one, you know, playing with someone that you looked up to growing up and an idol of yours? What was that like, and how did you get yourself to a point and a place mentally and even like physically, emotionally, to place a boundary on that? Just like, one, making such a amazing opportunity happen, but also knowing like, this is someone I'm working with, this is someone I'm like they're on my team now, and like I'm here with them, instead of like I'm here idolizing them.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that when I first came in for the preseason, I had that kind of like, ooh, I'm a little intimidated factor. Mm-hmm. But those girls they wanted to win, and I'm a very competitive person, so I think they saw that in me as well, that like I was going to compete with them and level up, and I really like found joy in that. So I just remember like even in the preseason connecting with them, and I knew where she was going to place the ball before she was crossing it, and I would get on top of the ball. So it just was like a mutual respect thing, that I think I kind of also had to earn a little bit, and just like show up every day and be consistent, be like, okay, she can play with us. Mm-hmm. And then just that kind of made me feel more comfortable, and like, okay, I'm not just idolizing them, like I'm playing with them, just like the constant repetition and playing at that high level. I think that would be like the best way to put it. Mm-hmm. I still like low key, I'm like, wow, I did that.
Yeah.
But even just like her, Sam Kerr, like Carly Lloyd, like those are all players that are just incredible athletes, soccer players, IQ, like they're just amazing players, and I want to just like play like them and level up and play. That was always my goal, and to do that and compete was just like something that was special to me. So yeah.
Definitely not easy to do. So shout out to you for doing that, making that happen.
Now that you're retired, like usually you have your whole day planned for you. Like how do you plan your day now that you got to plan it yourself? Usually you have practice times, everything you have to do during the day. Like how do you plan your own day now that you're retired?
Well, again, still like the only 3 weeks in, but I mean, today I ran 3 miles on a treadmill because I can't chill. So, and I did a Pilates class with Madison on Angel City. So, and then I watched the Arsenal
There you go.
game. So
The soccer
I'm really
still there,
still
still
in the
there.
soccer
Yeah.
world.
So
Living and
when you watch the
breathing.
games, do you analyze it like, come on, you could have made the right play instead of enjoying it, or you're more like just a fan?
No, I've always just been a fan, I would
All
say.
right.
Yeah. I don't really, unless it's NWSL soccer, then I'm probably looking more analytically, but Premier League, I'm just enjoying the game. Yeah.
So you're an Arsenal fan?
No, I'm a United fan.
There we
but
go.
It's a
I was
different
scared. I was getting that
Okay, cool.
Like, ooh, that guy's an Arsenal fan. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good day for us, but
Yeah.
still like kind of rocky season. United. Like,
Yeah, we won last week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
FA Cup game.
By the time he needed something,
I
I don't know.
Yeah, that game looked good though. We looked
Yeah.
good. I was happy.
Yeah, there's gonna be a while before there's new manager. Like
Yeah.
it's never gonna be an easy transition. So give you guys some time. Like
Thank you.
maybe I don't like to kick people when they're down. So
Thanks.
like
Appreciate
I'll leave it with y'all. We've had guests before that are big big into the trash talk, and it's so much fun on the other side. Like just like from a neutral perspective, watching people kind of go
at
back
it.
and forth, but. I don't know. I've never been much into the.
Ramsey doesn't like to pick sides, basically.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
I do like picking. I mean,
He
I
gets scared.
I think I kind of am too though. So
No, I mean,
talk.
like just like trash talking like over sports. Like it's fun to be like
Not the aggressive
experience,
type, yeah.
But I'm not one to be like like
Yeah.
oh bro, like United, y'all gonna get relegated this
Yeah,
year, like,
yeah.
all this and that. But so it'll be okay.
It'll be better.
You have enough money behind you. There's
You seen
there's-
Chelsea though? They spent all that money, it didn't work out for them.
But I mean, it's working like slowly. Like they're
just
getting there.
inconsistent.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes for United. But you said you can't like necessarily walk away from the game, and it's something that's always gonna you can take the person out of the game, but you can't take the game out of the person. Like obviously still 3 weeks.
Still fresh.
But
It's like a
Very fresh.
vacation.
It really feels like.
is there like when you do play pickup or when you do like watch soccer or work out, like is there still that competitive edge in you? Like how do you manage that even when you were still playing? Like how do you manage like the competitiveness in you to be like, okay, like like this is a pickup game, or
Yeah.
like I don't have to look at the person next to me on the treadmill, like and
No,
Call,
I'm
called
so
your sister like,
competitive.
how fast did you run 3 miles?
No, like I don't think I manage that well. I never have, but that's why I think I've been able to play at a high level. It's just because I'm so competitive. Even I was joking with my friend. I was like, I'm in like at a gym, and I was like, I'm gonna go do a running class just so I can like kick everyone's ass.
You normals.
I'm gonna have to add you to my co-ed team. I mean, my all-girls soccer
That's
team.
totally like
'cause
I'm down.
we need a
Little
little
ringer.
pep in our step.
Be ready for me to probably say something that's like not nice, and I'm like, oh, I hate myself.
What
for
level
that.
did you play? Just give me the ball.
It's okay.
But actually, like, I probably say that, which isn't okay. So maybe you shouldn't invite me. I want friends.
Hey, please invite me. I want to see this.
No,
Yeah.
we would welcome that, honestly.
Okay.
This past season was the first season we didn't get into a fight and we didn't get kicked out the league. So we're doing
That
good.
can change, that can
yeah,
change, that
we're
can
doing
change.
baby steps.
Talk
Yeah.
Invite me,
So
and I don't know if that's.
I think you might blend in just well enough with us.
Okay, good. That's exciting.
y'all gotta live stream that because I'm trying like that
Yeah.
sounds
You should see the stories when they play. Like, you're like, yeah, we should have seen her. We did that.
No, 2 years ago it was rough. It was rough. But you know what? We're all, we let it out. We're doing much better now. We the last season we played together before. Right after we had gotten kicked out, we won, and then we took a break, and we just came back. And this past season, we were like kind of figuring it out.
A
We were
mandatory
trying to
break.
figure out how to play without being violent and aggressive, and we did really good. We didn't win, But we didn't win the whole thing, but we made it far enough to know, to realize
you won
like you
with
could
progress.
exactly
Progress of
like
yourself.
you could play and win games and not be rude.
First of all, they'll go to the games, hair up, no jewelry, because they knew what they were getting into.
No, we wear our jewelry. We wear it proud.
You gotta flex.
The
Look good,
jewelry
play
doesn't
good.
come off. But I can only imagine for you that must be so hard to like not be competitive in something that you've done your whole life, basically.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm just a very like, even if it's not soccer though, everything in
Everything.
life, I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
But I've learned how to manage it a little bit. I used to flip board games when I was like younger-ish. It's only been like 3 years.
Younger.
But
3 days
now
ago.
I'm like, I'll take my L. It's okay.
In my
You're like, it's okay.
mid-20s, I used to do those. Like crazy.
That's why I can't play Monopoly with the family. Y'all whack.
Yeah.
Or
We all have, somebody that it's board games, like family board games. Like if something isn't blowing up or if somebody isn't yelling at somebody, then that's not fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Keep
way
it
more-
interesting.
Yeah. My younger brother is like that, where I
Love
used to be
that.
able to press his buttons, and I was really good at it. And it would get to the point where he'd snap, and then once he snapped, it was over. And I thought it was funny. No one else thought it was funny, but that was a problem. But I thought it was hilarious, and got in a lot of trouble
Yeah.
a lot. But
It's tough. With family, the competition it like elevates a little bit more. We tried to do white elephant one year with our family. We never did it again because everybody got mad and like they were like fighting for the best gift with each other. It was hilarious. So I definitely maybe not bringing that back, but it's fun until it goes too far.
where did you get your competitive edge? Was it from your family, or was it from just playing sports, or like how did that come about?
I think a little bit of my family. My sister, obviously, older sister, also very competitive and knew how to push my buttons as well. So it was always healthy competition, though. And I asked my dad that. I was like, was I always just like a naturally competitive person? He was like, yeah, like you just wanted to win at everything. I was like, okay.
You're like, was I always this good at life?
Yeah, basically.
So when did you know you had a prodigy?
I'll ask him that tomorrow.
At what age did you know it was amazing?
Is it just you and your older sister?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the Angel City experience, because last time we spoke, you were with San Diego, and we talked about the rivalry a little bit. But what was it like coming to LA? Playing in front of the hometown. Played across the street at USC. So what was that like? Playing for the team, and then what was your experience like with Angel City over the last few years?
Yeah. So I was a free agent after San Diego, and I was actually supposed to go to Houston. And I had a pretty nice contract set up, and then last minute Angel City was like, "Oh, like here's a contract if you want it." And I was like, "Well, it's not great, but I'll take it to be home in LA."
Yeah.
So it was kind of like it was a give and take of like I don't know if it was the best situation for myself, for my career, but ultimately I wanted to be home. I wanted to be with my family. And I was like, do I sacrifice that at the moment? And I just decided that I wanted to come home and play in LA because that was always like the dream of mine. So like, why not? If that opportunity is given to me, like I am going to take it because I don't know if it's ever going to come back. So yeah, that's what kind of like led me to that decision. I kind of felt like I knew because of that, I don't think I was as valued. But I knew that I was going to do my best because in the NWSL, like I know that I've proved in the league that I can make a difference in games. And like I love more than anything subbing onto games and being that person that they're like, oh, I mean, sorry, I don't know if I could say that.
Sorry,
You're good.
Yeah.
Like I really like that. So I was like, okay, well that's going to be my role going into Angel City. And I think the first year, this year, I didn't really have the opportunity as much to do that. But just coming in and changing games and scoring goals. And then just, yeah, the crowds at Angel City, the energy is unlike any other team I played at. It's funny too because I don't know if this is controversial, but I just felt like there was even this last year we were out of playoffs and the stadium was full and the energy was great. And I'm like, guys, like, we're not even
Boo!
Why are you here? But like, they really do, like, the community aspect is really great for Angel City. And I think that's why, like, people come back. Like, I'll see people and they're like, oh, like, I was at your game, it was so much fun. I was like, which game? And they'd be like, you guys lost, but it was fun. And I was like, okay, like, cool, like, I love that. So it has its give and takes,
right.
but ultimately I'm happy with my decision to be playing at home in front of my family and my chapter of my career in LA. So it was good.
Yeah, I sensed that, or I got that same sense of like kind of frustration at the games, because me and my fiance and I we're season ticket holders, and so we go to all the games. And two of our friends, they have an Angel City podcast, and we talk to them like during the match, and it would be like, you know, we'd be down like 2-0 or something, and then like the camera, like the stadium camera would be like, it'd be like fans are like dancing, and then like it's like showing, like you'd think like just from the stadium atmosphere we'd be up 2-0, and then so like I'd be texting like during the game, and I'm like, yo, what's like, this is, they're pretending like it's all good and fun, and like, you know, but at the same time you have the community, you have the atmosphere, and people go to the games to enjoy that atmosphere. And so it's like a push and pull in that sense. So there's like the sports competitive fan in you that's like frustrated, but then it's also like, yo, this is also kind of fun, and you know, we're here to be entertained, and like this is an entertaining experience. And I think that's why people keep coming back, because the club has done a pretty good job, at least on that side of, you know, developing the stadium atmosphere. So it's like kind of like that push pull.
Yeah. It's funny that you recognize that too as like a fan.
Yeah.
So, but you still come back. And
Right. And then at the end of the day, you're like, oh, okay, you know, it was kind of fun still.
He only went back because he had the season pass or
yeah,
membership.
that's true.
He never knew it though. That's messed up, huh? I'm just kidding.
No. Was it last year when y'all made the push towards the end to make the playoffs?
So that was 2023.
2023.
Where the second half surge, where you know,
Yeah.
like I think it was like 10 or 11 unbeaten games,
Just grind
and
to
then
the end.
like 5-1 the game against Portland. What was that push like? And I think a lot of fans, like from that, you know, Becky Tweet coming in and then kind of turning things around, that momentum going into the next season didn't really materialize. Can you talk about that experience and what that was like, and then what the expectations were going into the next season?
Yeah, I think that Becky had a solid plan going into that second half of season, and it was very much just like drive end line, cross the ball. It was just a very simple game plan, and I think that really resonated with the girls of like, okay, that sounds pretty easy. Like, we're gonna fly forward and then just defend our lives out and score goals, and that showed. And then going into next season, I just think that like she tried to switch it up a little bit too much and kind of started to go away from maybe her game plan, and maybe let other, like, I think you have to, as the coach, you have to have like really great leadership and like knowing of what you want and execute that. But I think she kind of strayed away from that this season, and I think that was probably pretty noticeable in terms of also like just players, and the roles that they had were a little bit different, and I don't think it was really ever clear on a game plan and execution on the field, and it was changing, and I think that was the biggest difference that I noticed from last season to this season. Because
it looked just going to a few games with Ramsey, it looked like you come out touching from the back and out of nowhere go half long ball. Like, it was no clear idea. What to play. It was like two different styles playing at the back of the field compared to like pushing forward. So it was like two different game plans playing. So it did look like it was a little off all season. But how did the team come together when it's hard times? It's usually like a lot of bumping heads of teammates. Were the girls did that unite them a little bit more, or did it separate you guys a little bit?
I think there was a lot of frustration just from looking back on it. Players frustrated with the style of play and wanting to maybe like change it on their own at times because it wasn't working. Like, we tried the 3-back the entire season. It did not work, and we never changed it, and it was so frustrating for like mostly for me to just like watch. I'm like, why are we doing this if it doesn't work? Like and I just think we tried to fit a formation and a style of play that didn't really suit players at times, or we would put players in positions that weren't at their best attributes. And to me, that really showed. But I think the players ultimately, like, we all knew that. And so we would look at each other and kind of like have this like, and then you can see it on the field, you know, like, I think that was really clear in what I noticed. But the girls on the team were like, at the end of the day, we're always going to have each other's back. And like, I've never felt so much like camaraderie or togetherness of players and respect for players than I have at Angel City, like just good people. So that was really special, but it's just like, at the end of the day, like, we all want to win and compete. So like, it's just frustrating to see a season like that go to waste with that much talent and like not utilize it. I will say, like, it was really exciting to see like Alyssa kind of get into her flow state at the end, and you can really see that. And I hope she like can keep continuing to do that. And other players I think have potential that on that team that have like, Emma is such a great player, and I think she is an incredible outside back, and like with the opportunity and the right coach, like she will shine. So I think a lot of players in NWSL just need like the right coaching or the right opportunity, and it's just like having that.
Yeah, the system, and it's like that. I think across the board in soccer is like, you can be really talented player and not be on the right system with the right team or the right coach, and each coach has an idea of the players that they want, and like you see it, like, you know,
Real Madrid with Mbappe.
Exactly. He's
better as a wing than a number 9, and it shows.
Yeah, and
he's
then
struggling.
You see it at every level of the game. You see it. Everything is so system oriented, and then if you're a round peg in a square hole, like, it's not gonna, you know, you can't force that. So I think you saw that, and you know, you mentioned Alyssa. Like, I think the whole year I was just saying she needs to see one go in the back of the net.
Yeah.
I feel like once she did, all of a sudden that confidence was back, and you know, she really blossomed into a top player. MA played her way onto the national team, you know, a couple years ago, and the talent that she had, it was never a talent thing at Angel City. I think the talent was and that's what also made it
abundantly clear, which is so frustrating.
Yeah, and so, you know, we could go on.
Ramsey can go for hours.
We have when we talk about the team, and but it's interesting because we've had a couple Angel City players as well, and they've kind of, you know, talked about that as well, where it's like, you know, I think it was Paige Nielsen said that, you know, it was like the vision on the game plan and the execution was just so much different, like, you know. And so I don't know, like, it's interesting to hear that, but there were still some, you know, pretty fun like moments along the way. I think, you know, what you said earlier about the coming into a game and making an impact, I think was at the Orlando game where you came on and it was like 90s plus, or like what was it like, you know, being able to come in, make an impact, score late goals, like game winners at some, or maybe to tie it, or I don't exactly remember, but what was that like for you? What kind of feeling is that?
I definitely liked that role, I would say, and because I'm really good at analyzing the game, and so like I'd watch from the bench and be like, I see pockets of space, or I see where I can kind of pick maybe defense, like the defense apart a little bit more, or like somewhere where I can make a difference, and that was something that I kind of took pride in. Like, okay, well, now if this is my opportunity, if it's 20, 15, 10, 9, 1 minute, like I will go in and I will have I pride myself on being really clinical in the box, and I think that I just needed like 1 chance, 2 chances, and I'll finish it. So like that was what I was like, my role. I'm gonna take pride in that and do that. So I tried to always do that to the best of my ability. But yeah, I would say that.
From an analysis perspective, do you see like coaching as a future potential?
I have a lot of people ask me to do that, but it's just not the right timing. I want to do something different than soccer, and kind of step away from the game for a little bit, and then maybe in the future coach again or start coaching. But right now I'll probably do like privates for just because it brings me joy, and I love seeing like a younger me, and I'm like, I want to see
your
you
little
do
prodigy.
Well. Yeah.
If it's not coaching right now, the mindset that you have, like the skill you have to be able to be clinical and to see those pockets when you're watching from the bench and you're like getting ready to go into the field, like how does an athlete kind of build that kind of skill level? Or like what would you say they could kind of work on to be able to get to that point? Because I feel like we do have a lot of people who watch our podcast or that like we'll come across and we'll be like, yeah, like we had this player here, like, you know, maybe you should listen to this pod, they have a lot of good advice. So I would love to hear like what you would say to build to that kind of like mentality.
I think one thing for me is like I love watching the game, and I just can remember since I was such a young girl, like waking up watching Premier League games with my dad, and I was probably watching more analytically when I was younger, like, okay, like I want to be like Thierry Henry, and like what can I do to be like him? And I would watch YouTube videos of players and how they would play and try to pick up maybe their style or how they would move. So just say watching the game a lot or finding players in your position that or people you think you play similar to, and just trying to really analyze like their movements and not just watching the ball but like watching them off the ball is really important. And like I think you get to like zoom out and then you'll be able to kind of zoom in maybe a little bit more. I think that, and like practice it into your game.
Yeah,
it's like the two.
I think that's a big one too, because not a lot of people, like the way people watch the game now is a lot different. With like attention spans are shortening. Like you can just watch the highlights. You know, you can get updates on your phone. Not a lot of people are like taking the time sitting down, watching the game, analyzing the game. Especially young players who want to have a future in as a player. So I think that's an interesting point to have when it comes to just like, okay, taking the time, being a student of the game, and you know, actually watching what the best of the best are doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. I was just because like I've gone to some of my friends. Their brothers, cousins are getting to the age level where they're playing a little bit more competitive, going to middle school, high school, and looking at them is like all they want to worry about is a one-on-one. I'm like, dude, like that is not gonna get you far. I didn't play at the level you played. I played a little bit of college. But it was just like, how good can you do the simple play? That one to get receive with your left, pass with your right. How simple and fast can you do that? And I feel like the younger generation doesn't care about that. Like I can do 2 step overs and take on 3 people. Like I'm good. I'm like, no, you're not. Yeah. like
that's the fun stuff.
Yeah. How good are you with your teammates? It's a game of 11. So I was just hearing that because one of my good friends, he is on the verge of retiring as well. Played for Toronto FC. Played in Guatemala. And every time we watch a game, we don't watch a game. We're analyzing like, how come he didn't go left? Why did he go right? Like, so that's our whole mentality when we watch games together. So, but yeah, so just exactly what you do. He does the same thing every time after he plays. Is he looks at the whole game that he played, and he's like, I should have went left here. I should have went right. And he tries to switch it up the next game. So that's great advice to give this new young generation, because all they care is about the highlight reel opposed to how the game is played.
Yeah. That's
trying to hit the shoe.
Yeah, my little nephew, like he's 5 and he scores goals. He goes, you know what time it is? I'm like, dude, like, no. Like,
calm down.
Yeah, he's super competitive. I went to soccer camp with him for this winter break. He was terrorizing the little kids, like just taking them all on. So they put him with the older kids, so he started losing. And he started crying, like, I don't want to play with the older kids no more. I want to go back where I can win. I'm like, all right, dude. So it's great to see how the new generation get into the game, because it's always fun.
Yeah,
that's how you have to learn sometimes. Get bullied.
No, I'm a bad. They know me. I suck at losing and I suck at winning, because either way I'm gonna talk my trash.
So what is next for you in your journey now that you are going into the retirement aspect and you're taking that in? I know you said coaching might not be in the pathway right now, but what is it that you are looking forward to that you could maybe share with us?
I'm just excited to like figure out what I'm good at other than soccer.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty open to new opportunities. I will say that I just got certified as a Pilates instructor.
Okay.
So I'm going to start working at a few studios in LA.
Yay.
I just started with one. And that brings me a lot of joy. I actually started when I was in San Diego. I had a stress fracture in my foot. And so while I was doing Legree, I thought it was Pilates at the time. I was like, Pilates, but it was Legree. Not a lot of people know the difference.
So Bridget was just talking about this earlier.
Because I take Legree classes, but I say I go to Pilates, but I don't know what the difference is.
So it's a little bit different, but basically I don't want to like get into, this is a soccer podcast.
We want to hear this.
I need to know because I need to know the difference.
Legree just, it's based off like the slow tempo versus reformer. There's different exercises, and I'm trying to think of how I can explain this. I feel like Legree gets a little bit old because you're doing the same exercises over and over, versus reformer or just classical reformer and Pilates. You're doing a little bit, there's more to do, I would say. There's more mind-body connection. So, I started that when I was in San Diego, and I was like, wow, I really like this.
Yeah.
And then when I got to LA, I was like, maybe I should get certified. And then this year I was like, I'm going to do it. So I really enjoy it, and that brings me joy. So I'll be doing that for a little bit, hopefully to start. And then I'm just open to whatever opportunities kind of come my way. So.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah. Hopefully I can take one of your Pilates classes.
Yeah, awesome.
Because I've been doing Legree, but I fall off, and then I have to go back and to start again.
Yeah, your like abs are sore for like a week.
Yeah, it's just so
shakes.
hard. Yeah,
I still get the shakes, and I go like every day. So.
You're certified.
I know. That doesn't make a difference. I just know how to do the exercises.
Right. No, it's because it is a lot of like, a lot of it is like the mental part, but then also you just start to realize there's like parts of your body that need more like strength that you've never really like used before, and that mind blows me all the time.
Yeah, it's like the small twitch fibers that they
honestly you never engage.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise,
it's insane. But I will say that I started to do Legree at the same time where I had like a knee injury, and I was doing physical therapy, but I honestly would say that the Legree classes helped me rebuild my strength in that knee a bit more than it like sped up the process.
Yeah,
basically.
for sure. No.
And that's when I was like, dang, like I could see why this is like really good for your body.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I want to bring in athletes too eventually to do privates, just be like, I can help you, because I have had the knee problems and I've had the injuries, and there's nothing that's I've personally felt that's like made me more fit and just like an overall better athlete than Pilates.
Yeah.
Adding that into my repertoire.
Love that. I agree to that. So hopefully I get to see you in your classes soon. Maybe we'll go.
Yeah, we should all
Y'all can't back down.
It's super close. So
what's that?
It'll be in Koreatown, so it'll be super close.
Okay. Let's do it. I'm down.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Right. And then
we're trying to do a fitness journey again, maybe this year.
I'm in.
We started one last year.
Yeah, it didn't work out. It didn't work out.
How far did y'all make it last year?
It was like 3 weeks, and then
well, I'll hold you accountable.
We went to the on the snow trip, the
snowboarding. We went to Mammoth, and they were snowboarding. I found a club, and I was drinking with random people, so that didn't last long.
Yeah, but she said she's gonna hold us accountable, so
I'm ready to.
Great stuff. That's the best.
No, he's gonna get mad. Yeah, he's
gonna walk out.
I'm not good. That's bad. No, not I'm a happy person.
It takes a lot of patience.
Something I do not have.
It's okay.
That's crazy.
I don't either. So
are we good? I'm just gonna scream at Bridget.
I've never done Pilates. I'm open to trying it. So.
Yeah, I'm open to try it as well.
Does Mel do Pilates?
I think she did at one point. She was doing classes actually in La Cañada. Like she was doing she had like a group on. But that was like years ago, so I don't know. She's good at everything, so she really is. So she can probably do it. So now that you have that, like that, what like is if you're like recruiting somebody to like you need to do Pilates, why should somebody do Pilates? Because like I know you said you want to get athletes into it because it can help with certain injuries or whatnot, but for like the layman, like what's the biggest reason why somebody should be doing?
I mean, it's just overall health lifestyle. I think it's important to be able to eventually like lift something up, walk up the stairs, like daily life things, and like fix your posture, like all these things. All of us are like, fix your posture. We all get up. Have a string attached to your head. Relax your shoulders. But yeah, it's just like everyday life. I think why not take it's like a daily 50-minute step into your life that's just going to help your future self. Like I'm really big into like self-care and just like helping your body in the best way possible. And I think that's just like it's a low impact workout that's not going to, it's gonna kill you, but it's not gonna actually, like, you're not gonna be like, oh, my knees, like, you feel. I've never left a Pilates class unless the instructor was like absolutely terrible, that I've been like, I don't feel good. Like, I've always been like, no, I feel great. So I think that's just, why not add that into your lifestyle, even if it's just twice a week, once a week, like, it's easy to do.
Yeah, this is the time where, you know, people are starting to like kind of look for other avenues to, you know, okay, I've tried the gym, I tried running, I don't know, like all this stuff. So I feel like that's a good pitch for anybody listening. Koreatown.
I also am gonna have a private studio, so
okay. All right, there we go.
We could do a urban pitch collab Pilates class.
I love this. Yeah. No, I'm actually serious. Let's do it.
I'm down.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. We'll
talk offline.
We'll take that off the air.
But for real, because we always say we're gonna do things and we never do things.
We are the definition of auto. We're supposed to go to, I don't know how many places.
We have
Colorado,
like 6 places
Austin,
to go to.
New York, Atlanta. We have like you know, different people that we
San
talk
Diego. We haven't even made it to San Diego together.
That's an easy
I just
one,
leave myself.
literally.
I know. Yeah. So
no patience.
No patience. I'm going to Vegas this weekend. No patience.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So we need to. I think accountability. 2025 accountability.
All right.
It's gonna be the year of accountability on this podcast.
We're crossing things off the list.
Yes. Sticking to stuff and like sticking to our word.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if it was up to us, like we'd be world travelers right now, you know? So
bills.
Yeah, I mean, budget permitting too.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But I mean, this is local. This we can.
Yeah, this can be
get this
done.
in. Okay.
We have to make it happen.
Yeah. Okay. That was a nice detour. Let's shift back towards the soccer of it all. So I wanted to talk about, you know, the ups and downs of soccer career. You know, from the youth level to college to the pros. Like, can you talk about just navigating that? And now, I mean, I keep saying this, but it's still early in like your post-career life. But when you do look back at it, like, how did you navigate those highs and lows? Because it inevitably occurs no matter how far you play the game. Like, how do like, what's the best advice to, you know, young athletes to kind of navigate that? Today's podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play fantasy sports. You can use our code URBANPITCH, that's one word, no spaces, to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're going to start playing the Pick'em game, where you can make picks on your favorite players and teams. All you have to do is pick whether they'll go higher or lower than their expected stats, and we'll share our picks here and on our social media channels as well, so you can play along with us. Let's make watching sports even more fun with Underdog Fantasy Sports.
I would say that looking back now, the hardest moments in my soccer career were the times afterwards I was like had the most success, in a way that was like always that full circle moment of like, okay, like if I can push through this, that means I have a little bit more to give. And I'm thinking about like my ACL injuries. I'm thinking about playing time when it was with Chicago, and I was like, why am I not playing? Or like, why am I not seeing the field? And I'm training at my best level. Or even in my last year in Angel City, there was weeks where I'd be like, I'm balling out, but I'm not seeing the field. But that wasn't in my control. But then then I would sub on to a game and score a goal. And I think about like that one with Portland against Chicago. Like I was so frustrated. I was like, why am I not playing? And then someone got hurt, and I was like, somehow I was like subbed on and changed the game. And I kind of even, when I was in this, like, I don't know what I should do with my soccer, like if I should keep playing. And I was in this, like, felt lost and scared, and was in this like very like felt constricted place. Those were like the moments that I knew I was like, okay, something really good is about to happen. And I've kind of gotten like, sometimes when I'm now in the slumps of like, I'm sorry if I can cuss, but like,
You're good.
like this really sucks, I usually know that something really good is going to happen, which is exciting too. And it's like, okay, well, I can look at this from a different perspective of like, this sucks, my knee injury sucks, but then I was comeback athlete of the year, and I like had that full like I worked through all that to get to here. And I feel like I've had that happen multiple times in my soccer career. That's made it much more gratifying than just being like, well, this was smooth riding, like it was so easy. And I'm sure everyone has that in their own career and life, whether that's soccer or not soccer. Like, it's just, it makes it that much better, in my opinion.
Yeah. Just to keep going. And like, there's that, like, I don't know if it's like a meme now, but it's like a picture of two miners. One guy's like giving up. He's walking back, and he's like, there's like this much of like before the diamonds, and then there's another guy who's just like keep like. So I feel like you never know when you're about to hit, gold or whatever, however you want to put it. So.
Yeah, definitely the unknowns of like, the unknown is usually, it's like, okay, there's something good happening. So yeah, I feel that relate to like the core of me, which is kind of crazy, but I've gotten very comfortable in the uncomfortable unknown. That's when I'm like, ooh, this is comfy now.
I love it here.
You seek out the sucky moments.
Yeah, like I don't know where I'm gonna live in a month. Exciting. No, but actually, like I'm just like, whatever. It's fun. It's exciting.
It'll figure itself out.
It really does.
That's kind of like the idea behind just trusting and falling in love with the process, right? And like not really focusing on like the end goal, but just kind of the journey. Yeah,
I feel that. And I think that was like this year I was like, well, I'm not playing, but I'm just gonna show up for training and like compete, have a good time, and like be a good teammate. And that's just like enjoying the day to day versus like looking at the end goal, because I was like, well, that's not in my control. So I'm gonna just control what I can, and as cheesy as it sounds, like it made it much more enjoyable. So
yeah. And then being a veteran presence on that team, there's a lot of young players. Like, did you find yourself taking people under your wing, or like maybe not actively, but just like kind of dishing out advice to whoever?
I tried my best with all the youngins, mostly like Casey and Alyssa, and just people I can like tell like they just need a little bit of like coaching up. I didn't want to overstep any boundaries either, but I just like when they're good people and you can tell like they really want to be helped. You want to help them as well. Like I try to, but I don't want to overstep ever either. So again, it was just like befriending them and being a good teammate, and they reciprocated that. So I was like, I'm going to show up for them too, just like as a friend, not even because they're younger. So.
Yeah.
Aside from that, we've talked about this on the podcast a bit before, but what was your experience like playing with younger athletes now that we're seeing more younger athletes on the rise in the professional space?
Hot take, I just like don't think that unless you're playing for the full national team as a young kid, like go to college, enjoy college. Like I get it, it sounds glamorous, but like it's a job. And I felt like our team, at least like Becky was like not nicer, but like was easier on them, and then it kind of lowered our level. So maybe that was just more of like a management thing, but I felt like when you're younger, you kind of have to be able to live up to like, I'm gonna play at this level. It's just like when I was a rookie, like I'm playing with Pino and I'm playing with Jess Fishlock, and if they yell at me, I'm gonna be like, yes, you got it. I will do it better. My touch will be better. But like I feel like we were kind of a little bit softer at times with the younger players, and I saw that mostly this year or with Angel City. But I'm just like go play college and go get those deals that are going on, whatever.
NIL,
go do that. Like you're gonna make money and still have an education and play at a great level. And that's just my opinion, unless you're playing with the full national team already, because you can get lost in the sauce. And it's like I feel like there's so much opportunity that you can still have after you play college soccer. So that's my hot take.
We'll be clipping that.
I like that. I mean, I don't think you're wrong in having that perspective, and you have experienced, the trajectory of the process and that journey. And so yes, like it is nice to see a lot of young athletes on the rise, and seeing them make their moves in the professional space. But I also do think that there is, like, if we're going to be putting them in those spaces, where we also have to be filling in the gaps of understanding what that looks like, and what that's going to take from them. And then also, like you said, like, if we know that we're going to bring them into those spaces, let's also recognize that we should be treating them
as equals.
Maybe the mentality that they deserve to be, given because they've made it into that space.
And that's also, like, I think that NWSL likes to, like, create this, like narrative of like we have these young players coming in and like them I need to do that too, and this club's like, oh, I need to do that too, and then it's just like there's so many great players that are already at like a 20 that are out of college and at a play, and I'm like, why don't you invest in them too? They're still incredible athletes and like they can make a game different, but they're like, no, we want to invest in the youth, which is great, awesome. But I just think that there's a balance in, I think you get sold on the pitch and the idea when you're young. I'm sure if I was 17 and they told me you want to go play pro, my parents would have been like, you're not, but I'm like, I'm going. So I get it, but it's just, I don't know, I don't really agree with it.
There's a little bit more to it.
Especially that you played for one of the powerhouses, especially USC. So some of these schools do have great programs that have a great staff that can still get you to that level.
And I think about like, say you do have an ACL injury. I feel like the staff at USC like just everything you have was infinitely times better than professional soccer when it comes to an injury, and you still are going to have your education. You're still going to have a chance to play, where it's like if you tear your ACL and you don't come back as the same player, they're going to be like, and your contract's over, sorry. And it's just like, that to me is a big risk and it's scary, but some people just like feel, I guess, like that's the right path, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think especially now with the rise of like academies and you're seeing both on the men's side and the women's side, these younger players going up, like college is starting to get kind of pushed out. We just had, I guess, Daryl O'Brien a couple weeks ago. She played for Utah Royals. She was signed on as a replacement player for the Olympics this year, and then she signed on for the rest of the season like on a permanent deal. But she graduated college and had like 4 or 5 years in between, playing semi-pro, doing all kinds of things before she made her professional debut.
This was her rookie year.
Yeah, and it was a rookie year. I think she was 26 when she made her debut, and so I mean, like old, like relatively old for like a rookie, And she was talking about all the unseen talent that's coming out of college that isn't necessarily playing for North Carolina or Stanford or Cal, and the smaller schools that still can hold their own against the top teams, but there just isn't the same resources for them. And there is a lot of talent that's, going on, falling through the cracks. So it's interesting that point of view of, okay, and maybe instead of risking it, and it's hard because from a team perspective, there's more upside to a young player than an older player, but at the same time it's like they have more experience, they've maybe are a little bit tougher, you can be a little bit tougher on them, you don't have to feel like you have to coddle them or be a little bit softer on them. So that's an interesting perspective that I don't think I've heard, because now you hear it's all younger, go pro, you can go to college later, you can go to college, so that's an interesting perspective. Yeah. So true hot take, and we appreciate those here. Yeah.
I want to go back to your USC time just because I went to high school in Manual Arts, which is across the street from USC, literally across the train tracks now. How was it there? Because I remember when I played when I was in high school, we'll go to USC and play pickup games in the track in the middle of the campus, and just seeing the aura of y'all walking out, the team, they're national champions 3 years in a row, like the history that just came with USC. How was it playing for USC and being in campus around that time with all these great sports around, football and basketball, all that great stuff around as well? I
mean, there's just an energy that, for me, I feel it when I'm on that campus of we're a great school overall, but this if you're not even in the athlete world and also off the athlete world, but just being around high IQ people, and it's just a great place. I love it. Every time I go there, I'm like, yes, right on. I love it. But I really enjoyed it. Just the athletes there were incredible too. You have Olympians, and you're just with the best athletes in the world, but in their sport, and it's so special, and I loved it so much. It was a great experience.
Yeah, just seeing all you athletes walk out of, especially that play for USC, it was, especially for I grew up in the area, so I remember playing at USC during that Reggie Bush, Pete Carroll walking out, going to the little grass field. They have a little practice facility. Now they added the little weight room underground, all that great stuff. I've played, I think it was last month, I went to play on the little grass field next to that little turf field they have. They have little pickup games on Sunday, and still like just seeing like when you walk into that, they have all the trophies, all the Heismans, all the national championships. So the athletes at USC get taken care of real well. Was it the same when you were there as well?
Yeah. All of that, I'm like, memories. So nice.
I mean, you said like the facilities there for like recovering from injuries was better than you had in the
they have
professional.
like the underwater treadmill to run on.
Wow.
They had
like the gravity thing too. Yeah,
just everything. And the people, like my trainer who got me back from my injury, just was one of the best, is the best in my opinion. And I was just taken care of there, like. It was incredible. Like, you want to live there. You're just like, can I stay the night? I think I honestly might have slept in the locker room one time because I was like, I'm so tired. But it's a great campus, and especially the athletic facilities are just the best. So it was a great experience. Loved it.
I bet. It's one of the players that comes to mind when we're talking about the whole college journey for younger athletes. Someone that came to mind was Juju Watkins. Like, look at everything that she's doing as a college student athlete. There's so much. I feel like she's like a celebrity name, but she's a college athlete,
exactly.
You know, and she's doing her thing.
Like, go do that.
Yeah, making things happen. Like that was someone who came to mind, and then connecting it back to you being a Trojan. So that's dope.
Yeah.
Seeing all the NIL deals now, do you like kind of get jealous?
Oh yeah.
You're like, run me my money.
I'm like, I could have made so much money.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We're here. I can feel that way with soccer too now. I'm like, I was in this rookie year making no money, but it's fine. You look back at it and I'm like, I didn't really play soccer for money, so it was just if I would, I would be playing in Mexico right now.
Right.
But how was that picking the college? Because I know it can be tough for some players because they have many options, especially coming from a great club team.
I chose USC because, well, my older sister went to USC as well, but I just learned that when she got accepted to USC, I was like, I wanted to go there. I didn't even say congratulations.
Wow. You were like, wow, you picked my school.
I'm so sorry I did that.
Why did you have to be born before me?
It's the sister rivalry, you know? It just gets to you sometimes.
Yeah, but she went there, so I was like, I obviously wanted to go there, but I went to the camps when I was younger, with like when they had the summer soccer camps.
The ID camps.
Yeah, and I was like, this is my time to shine. Because that was actually like how they kind of recruited back then.
Yeah.
So I would go to those, and I loved the campus when I went, and that was between there. And I feel like Duke is like kind of the East Coast version of USC in a way. So I was like, Duke's cool. I really like them. And I was looking at Santa Clara, and I ultimately was just like, I want to go to USC. And I felt the energy when I went to campus on my visit, and I was like, this is the place for me. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Listen, we're running low on time, but before we finish, all of our guests, we get their music playlist, what they're listening to, sometimes we get their pregame playlist or their in Pilates playlist for your kids. Well, who are you listening to right now?
Obviously Bad Bunny's new album is incredible. It's like repeat. I like Leon Thomas a lot.
Yeah, I like Leon.
Yeah, he's nice. I like a good R&B. SZA is always up there. Kendrick. I do like my girly pop music, like Gracie Abrams. I went to her concert and it was so great. So yeah, I kind of have a wide range of music. But my Pilates playlist will probably be like, I need to start making some really good ones. I'm going to pride myself on like having good music because I hate when there's bad music.
Oh my God.
It's tough to get through it.
I'm manifesting that you already shared like really strong artists for me. And I'm like, I'm loving this because I've like all of the degree classes I've gone to have been really good. But one of the things I always leave with is like, if they were playing like a Kendrick Lamar song like at the last 5 minutes of the class, I would have gone so hard. Like, and instead they're doing something else, and I'm just like, I need the motivation, and the music isn't hitting. So if your music is hitting, I'm gonna be at every class.
Yay! I'm excited.
It makes such a difference.
It really
makes such a difference. Like,
because you're not thinking about the little pulses. You're just like, they not like us.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited.
I guess we're staying accountable.
So I can look at it.
She's gonna do Pilates, just squabble up.
Yeah, it's gonna be hitting different. Like, okay, now get up slowly, squabble up, now squabble back down.
Squabble down.
That'd be amazing.
Oh my
good.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I love that.
All right.
answer.
Yeah, that's good.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll maybe we'll film it. We'll put it up there. Yeah.
Going to the gym right after this.
The opening day.
Yeah,
We'll vlog it.
Listen, Katie, this has been so much fun. Really appreciate you coming back. This is it's always great to have, you know, multiple time guests on, because I feel like a lot of times we leave the first conversation wanting more. So this was really cool. Appreciate you. Best of luck moving forward, and you know, we'll see you on the Reformer, I guess.
Yeah.
Next week she's gonna be signing to the team.
Yeah, I know.
I'm back.
That'd be funny.
She's like, no.
I'm done.
I'm back.
This has been another episode of the Urban Pitch Podcast, the beautiful game of life, part of the Believe Network. For Julio Monterosa, Katie Johnson, Bridget Flores, I'm Ramsey Abushaba. We'll see you next week.